Well, hello, Lever Fanatics. I want to make a video today about something I've wanted to do for a long time, and that is I'd like to invite you on a journey with me to try to find the best chocolate espresso bean. That's right. I would like to find a coffee bean that tastes like this. Pure milk chocolate, not the bitter chocolate, the sweet chocolate. I think everybody, when they think about good espresso, has a different idea of what it is. Some people like lighter roast, some people like a little bit of fruit, some people like dark roast. But for me personally, I love finding those chocolate notes. And just to be a little more specific, not just chocolate notes, because I think a lot of coffee beans do have that sort of dark chocolate sort of flavor, if not aroma, but I actually want sweet chocolate. And I don't want that sort of sourness that sometimes comes with chocolatey flavored coffee. So again, what I'm looking for is, maybe it doesn't exist, but a pure chocolate espresso shot. And I'm not really sure where this sort of flavor profile that I like comes from. I do know that when I was doing keto, which is the low carb dieting, one of the things that you were allowed to have as much of as you wanted was coffee. And of course, you couldn't have any sugar. And so for a lot of keto people, coffee became our go-to snack. Whenever we wanted to eat something, we would drink coffee. And if you could find a chocolate flavored coffee, then that kind of gave you the best of both worlds. You got a little bit of that forbidden chocolate that you weren't allowed to eat, and of course, in a form that you could drink all day long. So let's get started. Now, it might seem strange, but I'm going to start today with a Starbucks espresso roast, not known for its chocolate flavors. But I'm doing this on purpose because I want to set sort of our flavor profiles, sort of be so that we're all on the same page, or at least you understand what I'm sort of looking for. And I'm sure everybody has had Starbucks espresso. Everybody can find this. This is I wouldn't say a great bean, but it's it's a decent bean. And we're gonna pull a shot of this and let's see what it tastes like. And then from here, this would be sort of our baseline. We'll work towards that amazing chocolate shot. So first thing we're going to do is measure out 14 grams of this wonderful espresso. I actually think sometimes it's good as almost a reset to your taste buds if you use a common bean like a Pete's or a Starbucks or a Kirkland or whatever it is that you kind of can find locally that's easily available. Even if it's not that good, it's a good way to reset your taste buds. Because sometimes after drinking a lot of craft coffees or heirloom type of coffee beans, you might need to just reset a little, just so that maybe you can appreciate how good some of these beans that we have available are today. All right, so I've noticed you get quite a bit of coffee for 14 grams, which makes me think these beans are very light or very dry inside. And actually, on my niche, I've moved the setting down pretty low. I think I'm grinding on about an 8, which I never use 8 for most beans, but for the Starbucks, I think it needs it. So let's grind on the 8. We'll probably get a lot of coffee out of this. As you can see, it's making its way down the chute. I can see it already filling up inside there. One thing you might notice too with your own coffee is that as your coffee ages, you may have to start adjusting your grind settings. Whether you have a niche or some other type of grinder, you might find that whatever grind setting you were using is too coarse after a week or two of having the bean in your possession. Okay, so take a look at that. That's actually pretty high. We're probably going to spill some, but I'm going to distribute the coffee. Break up any clumps. I don't see any. Try to tap it down. All right, let's see if we can do this without spilling. All right, already failed. Definitely a lot of coffee in here for 14 grams. Very light, very fluffy. But again, if I don't grind it that fine, it just runs so quick through this machine that I don't really get a good shot. So here we go. Okay. Now today I'm using a double-walled glass to try to keep the heat in. See, I'm doing everything I can to make the shot taste good. I've already released the false pressure, and I think we're ready to brew. So let's take a look at the time, and you'll see the pre-infusion come in pretty fast. So there it is, already started. Typically, I do a 10-second pre-infusion. Okay. I can move this camera closer. There we go. 2 presses and a release. Now, I don't expect too much crema here, certainly not like some of the shots we were pulling earlier, but this is getting a nice release. The lever is still making its way to the top. One more, pull. Okay, now we're getting a very blonde color, which is probably not the best part of the coffee to taste. But again, I'm trying to make this exactly like how I would use any of my other beans. Okay, there we go. And that was just about 45 seconds or so, including the pre-infusion. So let's take a look. Not terrible. I mean, definitely you can see the coffee and the crema. Now let's taste this. Actually tastes like a really good cup of Starbucks espresso. In fact, don't you have that experience where you go to Starbucks and you order an Americano or you order an espresso, and sometimes you get it and it just tastes horrible and you kind of have to expect it, but sometimes you get one and it tastes actually really good. This is like one of those. It actually tastes pretty good. Now, there is no chocolate in here, or if there is, it is super, super dark and bitter. What I am tasting is a lot of bitterness. You feel like the roast has been charred and really been roasted for a long time, which I'm pretty sure it has. And also, there is what I do like about this though is there is no bitterness. If there is any, no, not bitterness, sorry, sourness. If there is any sour notes in this coffee, I cannot detect it at all, which is unusual because most of the coffees I drink do have a sort of a sour note to their, especially their finish. And sometimes it's stronger, sometimes weaker. But with this espresso, absolutely no sourness. And I like that. I like the lack of sourness in my drink. So again, I'm looking for milk chocolate coffee beans, something like this. I'm not looking for milk chocolate with orange peel inside, which, hey, I'm sure that's good. But in my coffee, I'm really trying to find this. So here's what I'd like to ask you to do to help me. Give me some recommendations. What beans can I use, or what beans have you used that has provided you with the best chocolate shots? And I want to collect those, your recommendations. I have a few ideas that I want to try. And I have one that I do like, but I don't think it's quite there in terms of pure milk chocolate. And so I'm hoping to find something better. So as we work through this series, as I get coffees, I'll make some and give you a report and let you know if it's chocolatey enough for what I'm looking for. Certainly probably be more chocolatey than this, but again, what this has is absolutely no sourness, which is something I'm looking for in my chocolate. You know, I want to drink my chocolate and not have that sour aftertaste. So anyway, keep tuning in. This is a long process. This is probably a never-ending process, like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. As soon as you reach the end, you start back and paint the other way. So it's probably going to be like that, where we will always be searching. But it would be great to have a list of some of the best, most chocolatey coffee beans available. So thank you for your help. Please post the comments below. You can also send me an email if you'd rather do that. But would love to hear from you. And until next time, keep in mind, the best espresso is the one that you pull.